chapter, that is chapter number 7, and the new topic, that is the use of a suitable document. In the last class we have discussed this. We have discussed some topics of chapter number 7. Today I am going to continue with the same chapter but with a different topic, that is use of the suitable document. That is, what are the various suitable document, or how we can use the suitable document, or what are the various equipment that is used. That is the use of the suitable equipment. That is a new topic, that is a today's topic. So let's start with the today's topic. That is, what are the various suitable document that is available, or what are the various status, what are the various equipment that is followed up, that is used for data equipment for the data storage. So the standard requires the organization to control the production and the service through the use of the suitable equipment. That is one of the key factors that is needed, or that is needed to control, or that is needed to control the processes. So whatever the equipment, whatever the data that is available, that is needed to control the processes. And suitable equipment is the equipment of the right type and capability to fulfill the requirement. That is, what are the various requirements that is fulfilled by the going to manage, that is equipment. So this is one of the key factors that is needed to control the processes. And suitable equipment is equipment of the right type and the capability to fulfill the requirement for which it is needed. So whatever suitable document that is required that fulfill the requirement for which it is needed, that is suitable equipment. So there is a suitable equipment that is required. So that is suitable equipment is the equipment of the right type and the capability to fulfill the requirement for which it is needed. For example, if there is a requirement of the equipment that is suitable for the right type application that is used for the data manipulation language, that is a data type that is used for the repeaters, the modification that is used for the modification of the data that is used, so that they are developed, so that they are developed using the concept. They are developed using the concept. So there is the equipment that is following. So there is the equipment that is following. So there is the equipment, we can say the right capability to fulfill. Although the term equipment for which it is needed, so the term equipment is used, it intends to the physical resources. That is, what are the various physical resources that is available, or what are the various resources that is available to fulfill the data. And it means that the resources have to be serviceable and capable of the performance and accuracy and precision required. So whatever the precision, whatever the requirement of the data, whatever the accurate data, that may be a performance, that may be accuracy, that may be a precision that is required, that is used for the maintainability, that is used to be maintained, acquired. So whatever the acquired, maintained, calibrated, qualified, verified, or otherwise as possible, as appropriate. So whatever the appropriate term that is used for the appropriate concepts. Now, why it is necessary? So why there is a need for the suitable equipment? So that this requirement responds to the process approach principle. So process outputs cannot be achieved unless the physical resources that are essential to perform the work. So whatever the physical, the process output cannot be achieved. So there is no achievement of the processes that is available unless the physical resources that are essential to perform the work are fit for their purpose. In any other state, the human resources would be used to compensate for the inadequacies of the equipment. That is, what are the various inadequacies that is available for the equipment, what are the various compensating part that is available for the inadequacy of the equipment, that is a state that can be sustained in certain or some circumstances, but not for the long, without degrading the quality of the work. That means if there is output that is available, that is achievable, so that is used using the physical resources that are essential to perform the work, that are fit for their purpose. Now, how it is implemented? So how it is using the, or how we are implementing the process approach principle. So the equipment should be selected during the planning process. In selecting such equipment, you should determine whether it is capable of producing, maintaining, or handling conforming product in a consistent manner or not. So whether it is available in a consistent manner, whether the equipment will be available or capable of achieving in a consistent manner or not. And process capability studies can reveal deficiency with the equipment. That is, what are the various equipment that is available that are not intermediary or intermediately apparent from the inspection of the first stop. That is not appear to be first stop, that is the equipment that is available of data. There may be a documentation available from the supplier of the equipment that inadequately demonstrates its capability. So whatever the capability, whatever the data that is available, that is not achieved with the data efficiency, with the data target. When equipment or the plant is taken out of the service, either for the maintenance or for repair, it should not be reintroduced into the service. That is not reintroduced into the service without being subject to the formal acceptance test. So if there is no acceptance tests that are not designed or that are designed to verify that it meets your declared standard operating conditions. Now that is the use of the suitable equipment. Now how to monitor or how to monitor and measure the devices. What are the various monitoring devices? What are the various measure devices that is followed up? The standard requires organization to control the production and the service provision. That is, what are the various production terms? What are the various service provisions that is used? So the availability and use of the measuring and the monitoring devices. That is, what are the various production phases? What are the various service provisions that is available? That have availability and use of the measuring and the monitoring devices. That is how to monitor or how to use the monitoring and the measuring devices. Now, what is the meaning of the monitoring? Monitoring means to monitor the terms and measuring means to measure how it is available. So measurement is one of the key factors that is needed to control the process. So this is measurement. This means providing the devices that is needed to measure the product feature. That is, what are the various product features that is available that is needed to measure the product facility and monitor the process performances. That is, what are the various monitor performances, and also providing the adequate training and instruction for these devices to be used and is intended. That means what are the various monitoring and the measurement tool that will be adequate, or there should be a providing the adequate training and instruction, that is how to deal with the measuring devices, or how to measure the devices, or how to we can say get in touch with the measuring devices. So why there is a requirement of the monitoring and the measuring devices? So this requirement responds to the process approach principle. So there is a process approach principle that is follow up, that is following up the process, or that is following up the, we can say this one, that is known as the use of the monitoring devices. Now how it is implemented? So when designing the process for producing the product or delivering the service, you should provide in the stages at which the product or the service feature are verified or installing monitoring devices. So there is a designing part that is available, that is used to monitor the devices, that is used to verify or install the monitoring devices, that indicates when the standards operating conditions have been achieved or not. So that indicates that whether the standard operating conditions have been achieved and whether they are being maintained or not. The devices that are used to perform the measurement need not be available or need to be available where measurements are performed. So whenever there is a measurement part, whenever there is a duplicacy part that is available, that is not available for the measurement that is to be performed. And the monitoring devices need to be accessible to the process operator for information on the performance. So what are the performance, what are the monitoring devices that is available that are accessible to the process operator. The monitoring devices may be located in inaccessible places, providing the signals are transmitted to the operators controlling the process. The next is implementation of monitoring and the measuring activity. That is, what are the various monitoring activities, what are the various measurement activities. That is how we can implement various activities, that may be a monitoring activity, that may be a measurement activity. So the standard requires the organization to control the production and service provisions to the implementation of the monitoring and the measurement devices. That is, what are the various measurement devices, what are the various measurement devices, what are the various implementation devices that is used for the monitoring. So measurement is one of the key factors that are needed to control the processes. So this is one of the part we can say that the measurement. So this measurement is one of the key factors to control the process. And measurement and monitoring is the means by which product and the process characteristics are defined. So if there is any process characteristics that is determined, that is defined by the normal, that is defined by the measurement. And the specification defines the target value, process description, or the plans that describe or define when measurement should be taken to ascertain whether the targets have been met or not. And this requirement responds to the factual approach principle. So why it is necessary? Because it responds to the process approach principle. So control conditions in production includes in-process, that is monitoring, and in-process inspection and the test. So whenever there is a control condition that is available, that includes the in-process activities, and that includes the inspection and the test. And the production of some products can be controlled simply by the inspection after the product has been produced. So after the product has been produced, it will simply using the inspection after the product that has been achieved, that has been produced. By observing the variability of certain parameters using control charts, you can demonstrate or you can determine whether the process is under control within the specified limit or not. That can be determined whether the specified limits are available within the controller. And the purpose of monitoring the process is firstly establish its capability, that is what are the various capability parts, what are the various monitoring parts, that is known as the process monitoring. Now, how to release the process. So one is monitoring, measuring, use of the equipment. Now the next part is how to, we can say, how to release the process, or why there is a requirement of the release in the process, how to implement when we release the process. So standard requires the implementation of the release activities. So this greatly simplifies the requirement plus the emphasis, or this puts the emphasis on the release process. So that is how we can put the release process, or how the processes will be released, whereas the previous requirement highlighted only stages where release controls were necessary. So there is a release control that is necessary for the equipment that is used for the release processes. The implication is that the management system may vary or may well require an overhaul to identify such transition processes. That is, what are the various processes that is determined, that is the release process. What does this mean? So what is the requirement of releasing process? So release activities are decision points. That depends on the decision, that is a decision points where the process output is confirmed as complete and moved on to the next stage in the process. That is, what are the various next stages, what are the various procedures that is followed, that is moved to the next stage in a process or to the another process. These are sometimes known as the gates through which the product have to be passed before being acceptable for further processing. So that have been known as the release activity, how we can release the point, so we can say how the output is confirmed as a complete. Now, why is necessary? What is the requirement of this one? That leads to the process approach principle. And how it is implemented? There are several release points that is follow up, that is used. So release from the component storage, then release from the job setup, then release from in-process inspection, then release from final inspection, then release from finished product storage. Now, these are the details, that is how to release from the various storage devices, that may be a permanent, that may be a temporary. So that is, first one is release from the storage area, that is how to release from the storage area, what are the components which will be released. That is, the first one is release from the storage area. The content of the storage area should be known at all the times in order that you can be confident that only that is only used, that which is in the storage area is of the norm, also known as it is of a known condition. That is, whatever the condition, whatever the content area, whatever the storage area, that should be known at all the times in order that confident that which is in the storage area is of a known condition. That is, whatever the known condition, whatever the storage area that is available, that is released from the storage area. So storage area containing the conformation or conforming item should be separate from those containing the non-conforming item. So whatever the non-conforming item, whatever the content that is available, that is used for the non-conforming, that is used for the separate item, that is used for the non-conforming item. It follows therefore that when an item is taken from a storage area, it should be be able to rely on it confirming unless otherwise stated on the label. So whatever the condition that is available on the label that is used from the release from the storage area. There is often a need to supply items as a free issue to avoid loss of the small value item. So whatever the small value item that is available, that is the loss of the small value items that is used to control the prevent the loss. And this practice can be adopted only if the quality of the time can be determined wholly by visual inspection by the person using it. So whatever the content that is available that is used, that is released from the storage area. And a common solution that satisfies both the inventory control and the quality control is to introduce a stock requisition system. So there is a stock requisition system that is available that is used to control the process, that is used to control the inventory control as well as the stock for the quality control. And authorization of requisitions when given a person supervises or can be provided via a work order. So whatever the work order, whatever the person supervisor that will be provided via a work order. And if someone has been authorized to carry out a particular job, they should authorize the person to requisition the items needed. So whatever the item that is needed, that is used to authorize the person, that is used to do the particular work. Then next is the held product, that is the next part. So whenever the product is inspected, that should be examined while the line continues producing the product. So whatever the product that is producing, that is used for the held product. Then release from the job setup. So that is next part, that is release from the job setup. In setting up a job prior to commencing a production plan, a production run, you need to verify that all the requirements have been met or not. That is whether the requirements of the user are being met in the specified manner or not. This is one of the content. This is, we can say, one of the job, that is a release from the job setup. Then release from the inspection. So every inspection is a stage where the product is verified as either conforming or non-conforming. So whatever the verification stage, whatever the data that is available, that is verified as either conforming or non-conforming. Provisions are needed for signifying when the product is ready for release either to the next stage in the process, into the quantized store awaiting decision, or back into the process for rework or the completion. So whatever the data, whatever the provision that is available, that is used for the awaiting decisions or back into the process for rework on the completion, that is a release from the inspection. Now, next part is delivery processes, that is how we can deliver the processes. So we have finished with the releasing part. Now next part is delivery processes, that is what are the various delivery processes or what the standard requires. So the standard requires the implementation of the delivery activity, that is what are the various delivery activities, that is the delivery processes. The standard requires the implementation of the delivery activity. What is the meaning of the delivery? The delivery is an activity that serves the shipment or transmission of the product into the customer and is one part of the distribution process. So whenever we are saying that delivery, that is an activity that serves the shipment or transmission of the product. That is whenever we are shipping, whenever we are transmitting the product to the customer, and is one part of the distribution process, that is known as the delivery. And delivery may vary, and delivery may include preparation for the delivery such as the packing, notification, transportation, customs, arrival at destination, and unpacking and customer premises. So whatever the customer premises, whatever the customer data that is available, that is used for the packing, notification, transportation, arrival at the destination. Now why it is necessary? That leads to that response to the process approach principle. There is a marketing, there is a distribution policy, there is a distribution system design, then there is a distribution system construction. So one is the marketing, that leads to the distribution system design. So there is a distribution system design that is used for the distribution policy. That also leads to the distribution system construction. That means if the person is able to construct the system, that is a distribution system construction. So there is a plant or the people, there is a resource management, there is a warehouse. Warehouse means the storage area where the product has been stored. So there is a product that is used for the production. Then there is the inventory. Inventory means also the stock. That means the space where the product and material are stored. That is at the stock level. Then sales. At the sales level, there is a process order, picking up, then packing up, dispatch, shipment. So these are the distribution process flow, how the distribution will be flowed. Then why it is or how it is implemented. that indicates the where it is designed, that is the origin of the process input is the marketing process. And whenever the distribution process or whatever the distribution channel that is used, that promotes the physical flow of the data or goods and the service along with the ownership title. There is a producer or the service provider, there is a consumer or the business user, there is a producer, then there is a wholesaler, there is a business user. That means the producer deals with directly with the business user. So that intermediate, we can say the mediator is a wholesaler. Then there is a producer, then there is a retailer, then there is a consumer. The producer, wholesaler, retailer, consumer. Then producer, agent, consumers. These are the various distribution channels. That is, either we can say that the producer directly deal with the customer. There is no wholesaler, there is no retailer. Either producer deal with the business user via wholesaler. Either producer deal with the consumer with the retailer. Then producer, wholesaler, retailer, consumer. Then agent, customer or consumer or business user. Then agent, wholesaler. Then agent, wholesaler, retailer, consumer. These are the various distribution channels that is carried out or that we are using, that is various channels of the distribution. And delivery takes place between each of the parties in the distribution chain, and for each party there are several aspects to the delivery process. That is, what are the various expectations, or what are the various criteria that is followed for the delivery process. The first one is preparation of the product, such as cleaning and the preservation. So whenever we are transferring the product, that means any distribution channel. So these are the that is expectable, or that is we can expect from the delivery process. So first one is preparation of the product, such as the cleaning and the preservation. Then packaging of the product. Then there is a user information. Then after user information, there is a product certification, then labeling and transmit the information, then how to handle the data that is handling, then customer notification, then transportation, tracking. So these are the various terms that is used for this one. And the type of transport that is used, that depends on the delivery channel. So there is the on-time delivery, customer notification. Now, what are the various processes that is available for the post-delivery processes? So these are the various post-delivery implementation that are performed before deliver the product. That is, after delivery of the consign of the sorry. This is not pre-delivery. This is post-delivery. That means after the delivery has taken place, what are the various processes that is followed? So first of all, the delivery has taken place. Then there are various processes that have been taken place. So the post-delivery activities are those performed after delivery of the consignment to the customer and may include servicing, warranty claims, technical support, maintenance, logistics, installation. So these are the various post-delivery activities that are performed after the delivery. That is a servicing, then there is a warranty, then there is a technical support, then there is a maintenance, then there is a logistics, then there is a installation. So these are the various steps or activities that are performed. Why it is necessary? Because it leads to the customer focus principle. How it is implemented, that defines there are multiple post-delivery activities that is taken out. Now, next is validation of the processes. That is, what are the various validation terms that is used in this process. So we have done with the verification, we have done with the validation, the identification, and the receivables. Next topic is the validation of the processes. That is, what are the various validations that is apply or that we can apply on the various processes. That is the validation of the processes. So the standard requires organization to validate any production and service provisions. That is, what are the various service and what are the various production and the service provisions, where the resulting output cannot be verified by the subsequent measurement or the monitoring. That is, where the resulting output cannot be verified, or where the output cannot be verified by the subsequent measurement or the monitoring. So what is the meaning of this term? So many processes do not present any difficulty in the verification of the output. So many processes do not present any difficulty that is available in the verification against the input requirement, regardless of the tool, personnel, facilities, or other means used to carry out the processes. That is, what are the various processes, what are the various carried out terms that will be used for the various processes, and the resultant feature and the characteristics are relatively easily determined. So what are the various characteristics that is easily determined? That is one of the facilities, that is one of the aim, or we can say what are the facilities that is available for this. However, there are some processes where the output is totally dependent upon the personnel, equipment, and the facilities, and what is more, cannot be fully verified by the examination of the end product at any stage of the assembly. So whatever the stage, whatever the assembly stage, whatever the equipment, whatever the facilities that is available, that cannot be fully verified by the examination of the end. And in service industry, several processes include correctness of the financial or the legal document. That is, what are the various financial documents, what are the various legal documents that is available, that include the software, professional advice, etc. And in such cases, these processes are not separate or separated for special treatment, because all the processes in the business may fall into this category. That is available in the process, that is available in the software, legal document, professional advice. Now, why is this necessary? Why there is a requirement of this one? So this requirement responds to the factual approach principle. So there is a factual approach principle that is available, that is required for the requirement phase. And if any one of the factors, of any of these factors upon which the performance of the process depends, is less than adequate, deficiencies may not become apparent until long after the production is or product is installed. So after the product is installed, it cannot be used, it cannot be installed, used, or enter services. Normally the product characteristics are verified before the release, and but when it is not possible without destroying the product, the process need to be qualified as capable of only producing the conforming product. That is, what are the various products, what are the various capabilities that is available to produce the result. So how it is implemented? So to limit the potentials for deficiencies to escape the detection before the product is released, measures should be taken that ensure the suitability of all the equipment, personnel, facilities, that is, what are the various personnels, what are the various facilities, and how to prevent the very conditions. And you should produce and maintain a list of the special devices or special processes that have been qualified. In this way, you can easily identify an unqualified processes, that is, whatever unqualified processes that is used, that is an unauthorized person or an obsolete list, if you are neglected to maintain. Now next is identification and the traceability, that is how we can identify or how we can trace the content. So first is identifying the product. So identifying means identifying which product is suitable, which product is right or wrong. So that requires the organization realization where appropriate. So there is an appropriate term that is used, that is known as identifying the product, that is identifying the product by their name, by their suitable means through the product realization whenever it is or where it is appropriate. So the requirements for the product identification are intended to enable the products and the services one set of characteristics. So there is a one set of characteristics that is available to differentiate from the product or the services with another set of characteristics. And the option of applying the characteristics of the requirement where appropriate that is used, so that implies that there are situations where the product identity is unnecessary. So why it is necessary? So that leads to the process approach principle. And there's a product identity that is vital in many situations to prevent the inadvertent mixing, to enable the recording to match the products with the document that describe them, and to do the basic of all the human activities to communicate. That is, what are the various human activities that is able to communicate with this. Now how it is implemented? There is a separate product identity that is necessary where it is not inherently obvious. Then next is verification status. That is, what is the verification status that is carried out with this. Next topic verification status, that is whether the verification is done correctly or not, that is the verification station. The standard requires the organization to identify the status of the product with respect to the measurement and the requirement. What are the various measurements and the monitoring? So product status with respect to measurement and confirms or does not conform to the specified. So whether the product conforms to the requirement or not, that is the product status. Why it is necessary, that responds to the factual principle, and the measurement does not change a product but change our knowledge of it. How it is implemented? By using the green label, by using the term that is carried out. Next is traceability, that is how we can trace a content. I'm going to present. Thank you so much. If there is any doubts, you can ask the doubts from me, and in the next class, that is